Hi friends, welcome back. Today we're heading into the garden, one of my favourite places to be with my toddler. You'll see some of the little moments we share, but more importantly, I want to talk about why gardening with young children matters so much, especially when we look at it through the Waldorf lens. In Waldorf education, nature is considered the child's first teacher. It's where rhythm, wonder and meaningful work all come together. And the garden gives us such a beautiful way to live that out at home with our little ones. Let's start with the philosophy. Waldorf education places a strong emphasis on rhythm, imitation, and sensory experience in early childhood. Children under 7 learn primarily by doing and observing. They soak in the world through their senses and they learn by imitating the adults around them. So when my toddler sees me planting seeds or pulling a few weeds or gently watering, he naturally wants to join in. It's not about me teaching him step by step, but about him absorbing the gestures, the rhythm and the mood. Waldorf teachers often talk about the importance of worthy imitation, giving children something real, meaningful and beautiful to copy, and gardening is perfect for that. It's also about reverence. In Waldorf, we slow down and notice the cycles of the seasons, the way life begins, grows, and eventually returns to the earth. The garden becomes a place where toddlers can start to experience the reverence in a very tangible way. They see a seed go into the soil, and weeks later something green pushes up. To them, that is pure magic. So what does the garden give toddlers, really? First, connection. They learn that food doesn't just appear on the table. It comes from the earth and from our hands working together. That connection lays a foundation of gratitude and respect. Second, wonder. Every worm, every bee, every new bud is an invitation to slow down and marvel. And toddlers are naturally great at this. They notice the tiny things we might rush past. Then, the senses. Gardening engages touch, smell, sight, even taste. Running hands through soil, smelling herbs, watching colours emerge, tasting the first strawberry of the season. These are rich, nourishing experiences. And they're grounding too. Sometimes when my toddler is a bit unsettled, going outside to water or dig really helps him come back into his body. And then there's patience and rhythm. Plants don't grow overnight. Toddlers experience the rhythm of tending, waiting, and eventually harvesting. It's a slow process, but it gently teaches them to live in time with the earth, not just with the clock. And finally, imitation of meaningful work. Toddlers don't need toys that mimic gardening when they can participate in the real thing. They can hold a child-sized rake, carry a watering can, or collect vegetables into a basket. It might not look efficient, but the point isn't productivity, it's participation. Now, in practice, what does this look like? It can be as simple as giving your toddler a small job that matches their ability. Digging holes for seeds, pressing the seed gently into the soil, filling a watering can and letting them pour. Even if half of it splashes onto the ground, it really doesn't matter. Collecting sticks and stones to line a garden bed, harvesting herbs or flowers that are safe for little hands. One of my toddler's favourite things is picking herbs and carrying them inside. He might not know what we'll use them for, but he knows it's important. Sometimes he just smells them over and over, and honestly, I think that's enough. And of course, it's messy. There are times when he dumps soil in the wrong place or decides to water his shoes instead of the plants. But in the Waldorf approach, the focus is on the process, not the product. The joy of participation matters much more than a tidy garden. The garden also becomes a natural playground. Waldorf education emphasises open-ended play, and what's more open-ended than sticks, stones, petals and dirt? We'll often make flower soups together, mixing petals and leaves into a bowl of water. I can't wait to build little homes with him for fairies or gnomes using moss, bark and twigs. Sometimes he just pours water from one container to another at the mud kitchen. These activities aren't separate from gardening, they're part of the same rhythm. They're ways of deepening his relationship with nature or seeing the garden as a place of creativity and belonging. In Waldorf-inspired homes, rhythm is everything, and the garden can become part of that rhythm. Maybe it's a morning walk to see what has changed overnight. Maybe it's evening watering together before dinner. Maybe it's a weekly ritual of harvesting herbs for tea. Seasonally, there are planting days in spring, harvesting days in summer, composting in autumn. These little rituals create a sense of security for children. They know what to expect and they start to see themselves as part of the cycles of nature. And honestly, it grounds me as a parent too. When we step outside into the garden, I feel my own pace slow down. I'm reminded to breathe, to notice, to let go of perfection. So if you're wondering how to bring more of the Waldorf philosophy into your home life with toddlers, I'd say start in the garden. It doesn't have to be big. Even a few pots and a balcony can create that sense of rhythm and reverence. When we invite our toddlers into the garden, we're not just teaching them how to plant or water, we're nurturing their sense of wonder, their connection to nature, and their belonging in the family rhythm. We're sowing more than seeds. We're sowing reverence, patience, and joy. Thanks for joining me here today. I'd love to hear how you involve your little ones in the garden. Share your ideas in the comments and don't forget to subscribe for more Waldorf-inspired family living. See you next week, friends.